Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Anime-Zing Radio here on YouTube. I'm your host, Doug Engler. Joining me in the co-host seat, as always, is our good friend, Mr. Darren Starling.
Hello.
Our other co-host, Angela, will be joining us in a little bit. She is currently on her way home. Once she gets home and situated, she will be joining us tonight, as we are going to have a fun topic to talk about. And I don't think I've seen other YouTubers or other talk shows talk about what factors go into deciding which shows we end up watching. So I think it's going to be a fun and unique topic that we haven't really covered much on the show, at least not in depth. But before we get to that, I want to remind everybody that Anime-Zing Radio is brought to you tonight by HomecircleMedia.com for the latest and greatest in anime gear. Everything from pens, pencils, stationery, and officially licensed art books. Be sure to check out HomecircleMedia.com today or look for them at an upcoming convention near you. We're also brought to you tonight by Casey Fox. That's KAYCIFOXX. For all of your artwork, cosplay, and photography needs, check out Casey Fox on YouTube and Instagram. We're also brought to you tonight by Darren.
If you're down in the Raleigh area and you need lawn care projects done this season, give me a call. And unfortunately, I do not currently offer snow removal. We got our first snow in God knows how long. It was about 3 inches of beauty.
God, 3 inches. I can still find my golf ball. I'm a smart aleck because I live in North Country where I think we have about 8 inches on the ground outside right now, and it hasn't snowed in a few days. Been too cold. We've been in the past week. We've had 3 days, we've had 3 days where it hit negative double digits, and 5 days in the last week that we hit negative digits.
Wow.
And yeah. Once it gets below zero, it's too cold to snow. And the one day that we had like 35-degree weather, it snowed like 3 or 4 inches.
Well, last Sunday we had freezing rain. So basically an ice storm. And this week we actually had snow. And there are rumors floating around the internet that the snowstorm we saw in 2000, where they were forecasting 2 to 3 inches of snow, well, we got 20.
I know what that's like. We call that Fulton, New York. But that's a whole nother story.
But anyway, there's rumors floating around the internet that just judging off the weather patterns that occur every so many years, that could potentially happen again this year at some point. But that is an extreme model, and until it actually comes to fruition, there's no point in talking about it.
Yep. Anywho, tonight we're going to be focusing in on what factors into the shows that we choose. With so many anime that come out every season, it's always tough to sit down and look through the list and be like, I want to watch this, and this, if it's not a show that you've already started. When it comes to new shows, shows that it's not a season 2 or a continuation from last season, it's tough to know exactly which shows are really going to pique your interest. Sometimes the synopsis, is very vague. Granted, Darren, I know you and I both will usually go through, obviously here on the show, we go through and read synopsis of just about every show that's coming out for the upcoming season and try to figure out what we want to watch from that. But what are some of the factors that you look for when you're finding a new show?
A lot of times it's not so much even the descriptions that speak to me. A lot of times it can just be the art style. If I see something I like, it kind of catches my interest to make me want to look into it more. At which point, after my attention's been grabbed, I'll go into the I'll generally go on myanimelist.net if they have a profile about it, see who the studio is, see what kind of voice actors are going to be participating in it, if that's available. Of course, the description and also the source material. Is it an original anime? Is it based on a game? Is it based on a light novel or a manga? That also has a lot to do with it. And my friends that I used to do pages with, um, generally criteria for determining what pages we wanted to do came from either their tastes or just a matter of, like I said, going through the list and picking out what pages, and also how much material was readily available for those pages. I
And
mean, there's just so many things that go into an anime that there's so many things that go into catching your attention.
oh, definitely. And like so many people know the big name shows. It's easy to see people come in to the anime community and be like, well, I see Attack on Titan stuff everywhere, so I want to watch Attack on Titan or My Hero or One Piece or Fairy Tail, because you cannot escape the merchandise from that. So I think that's one thing that draws a lot of new fans to the anime realm, because they see these characters everywhere. I mean, we went to Spencer's and Hot Topic today, and everywhere you turned, it was Demon Slayer, My Hero. You still see some Inuyasha stuff, and a lot of the big shows. There's still fairy tale manga there. There was One Piece and Naruto and Dragon Ball, and that stuff is right there in your face, and you can't escape it. I know one of the factors, and I pulled up like the My Anime list here, and one of the factors of things that I look at, like trying to find it here, the Genius, not the Genius Prince. Where is it? Here it is. She professed herself pupil of the wise man. Now, this is a show I hadn't heard of. It's a new show that is coming out this season. And yes, it was an isekai, which, okay, I'm isekai trash. I'll admit it. But you look at it, and the characters are cute. Like the main female character was adorable. It's like that kind of lured me in. And then like the picture you see here that the mouse is going over, where you see this old guy and this young girl, and it's like, what do they have in common? And I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who hasn't started watching the series. Episode 1 was interesting, but I wasn't sure what to expect of the show. Episode 2 kind of answered some questions, and it was like the characters drew me in. Like the artwork kind of drew me in of the characters. Of course, they have, like, you can see there's an elf chick. In this case here, they have a cat character. It's like, okay, that character is adorable. That's something that would pique my attention in getting, watching a show like this too. And this one here, the elf girl in the back in the middle back here, kind of drew my attention. Haven't seen much of her thus far, but the series itself seemed, like I said, it looked like it would be something up my alley. And then, like you were saying, you look at the source. It came from a light novel. I have never heard of Studio ACAT.
I can say that I really haven't either.
And so I just clicked on them and pulling up stuff that they've done, and they don't have a ton of shows here. And again, if I'm just looking at not knowing anything about the studio, anything about the shows they have, if there were shows that I might watch, it might be this Soku Musume Senki. Looks kind of interesting just by the characters. That almost kind of gives me a Strike Witches vibe based off the artwork of the cover here. It's like Strike Witches kind of meets Mecha, maybe? And I'm not sure if there's anything else that like really jumps out and tickles my fancy. sad to say. But, that's one of the things that really draws me into a show is, what do the artwork, do the characters look like something that I would enjoy watching? Does it look like something that could be, entertaining and, keep my attention? Because a lot of times you can read the synopsis of a show and still not fully be like, that sounds like something I really want to watch, or be like, eh. You know what I mean?
Because there have been some of the shows that have some of the worst descriptions or the most mediocre descriptions, and you get into the show and you're like, wow, this is not what I expected, be it a good thing or a bad thing.
Oh, yeah. And Mario in the chat room is asking, are you all ready for the eventual Dress Up Darling dub?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
I have to say, this show is... this has established a new level in the standard of waifus.
I will say this, and I laughed because Darren and I were on the same page without knowing exactly which anime we were talking about, because he didn't know I had started it and vice versa. But we have started holding meetings during the week to talk about the show and what to expect in upcoming weeks, things we're working on, and stuff of that nature. Well, Darren and I started talking about, we found the ultimate waifu, or best girl of winter 2022. Hands down, don't care who else comes out. This girl is best girl. And, of course, I'm talking about the main female in My Dress Up Darling. Episode 1, I watched and said, she is A tier. I want to see how her personality goes as the storyline progresses, because she could move from an A tier waifu to an S tier to rival people like Holo and 02, or she could move down the list. With 10 minutes left to go in episode 3, I already have her on S tier, and I have her I think I have her behind Holo at the moment on my S tier list in my head, but she very easily could bump Holo for best waifu. Chizuru, eat your heart out. She's already blown you away. I know everybody, Rent a Girlfriend, Chizuru was amazing. She's the ultimate girlfriend. No. I think we found the ultimate girl.
I have to say, forget doing everything for money. She's doing it because she wants to.
She's doing it because she wants to, and she's doing it because, and she doesn't judge. That's one thing that's really cool about her too. Is it's one of those rare cases where I want her and the main male character to get together, even though he's annoying. And like I said, we brought up the art here. Gotta love the ads. But the blonde girl here with the blonde hair, red eyes. It's like she is just the ultimate character. Ultimate waifu, attractive, great personality, kind, popular. I think that's every weeb's dream girl.
She literally is.
And if you haven't started watching this one, it's actually really, really good. This was another show I kind of went into with skepticism of, what am I really gonna enjoy this? But I also went into it with the same frame of mind of, I didn't expect much from Smile Down the Runway, and that show blew me away. So I'm like, let's see where this goes. And like I was telling Darren before the show, if this thing turns into a harem, and I don't think it has a harem tag.
It doesn't.
No, it's romance and slice of life. I was like, if this thing turns into a harem, I think he is going to be the most annoying male protagonist, the lamest one of all, because of how awkward he is. He can't even take her measurements without freaking out and beating the crap out of himself.
Well, when you grew up pretty much isolated from everybody, especially getting shunned as a kid by a girl.
And it is a Cloverworks, which that is a studio that we have seen a lot of good stuff from in the past.
I have to say they've really made a name for themselves, especially since they did Bunny Girl.
Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. You've got Wonder Egg Priority.
Darling in the Franxx, so that explains the whole 02 waifu vibe. And Horimiya, which is probably the best romance I've ever watched.
They've done Fate, Grand Order stuff. They did the Fate Grand Order movie in 2021, and they had a special that came out in 2019, Persona 5, the animation.
They did How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend.
So they've been around for a while and have a lot of really, really good titles out there.
Oh, and they're doing Spy X Family, which is supposed to be a really good title coming out next season.
I don't remember if we said it, but they did Promise Neverland as well, which I haven't seen, but I've heard a lot of really good things about.
Season 1, amazing. Season 2, forget it.
And
it was good from an anime only point of view, but it pissed off basically the entire manga community.
And we want to welcome Angela to the show. See her eating.
Hello. All good.
And welcome to the show, Ange. So you have made it home, and we are glad you were able to join us tonight. We started talking already about some of the shows that we've been watching and how we have decided to watch specific shows.
Nice.
I don't like the fact that I've seen a lot of people just actually doing it.
And we got off on a tangent because, as you heard us say before, best girl of 2022 winter season, maybe. And I'm going to call this now. She might be best girl of the year with My Dress Up Darling.
I can't argue that yet.
And I know I'm going off on, it's a big possibility, but from what I have seen in 2.5 episodes, I already have her ranked in S tier waifu position behind Holo.
I've only seen episode 1, so no spoilers, please.
No spoilers. Episode 1, I had her in A tier. We watched episode 2 tonight and started episode 3. We're about halfway through episode 3, and I've already put her in S tier.
Anime night will likely be tomorrow for us, because today was out doing all the things and seeing all the people.
Oh, yeah. And once again, I want to thank everybody who's tuning in tonight over here on YouTube. Big hello to everybody in the chat room, including Mario. It's great to see you in there. Kaya as well. And hope you guys, all of you are having a great time. And I just got your message saying that you were in.
Yep.
Facebook Messenger has been acting up today. I've sent messages that never went.
No, you know what? I realized that I thought it auto-connected me to the Wi-Fi, and it didn't.
Okay.
Because my phone is weird sometimes about that.
So we've been having a lot of fun. A lot of good shows that are coming out this season. And I know that we talked about over on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Anime-Zing Radio. I have already posted up the animes I am currently watching or planning to watch this season. I only have 6 written down on the list that are officially coming out. There are a couple others that have come out previously that I may go back and catch up on.
I posted my currently watching list this morning.
So we're just waiting on Darren to post his currently watching list.
I will put it up eventually.
He's got to figure out what he's watching first.
About to say, because my list keeps growing. I'm up to like 7 or 8 at this point.
I have 4 I am currently watching, and 2 potentials that I have not started but kind of want to. And
I got 2 or 3 that I'm about to start.
Well, I have 3 ongoings that are wrapping up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 after that. And I did not add any of the ones we haven't started yet.
Hmm.
so we're all watching a bunch of stuff. So we are gonna still have a lot more anime to talk about in the future.
And I did notice that you and I only have 1 show overlapping.
Dress Up, Darling.
Yep.
I think that might be the only show all 3 of us are watching.
I think it is.
Because I have gone back and started up with the Princess Connect Redive Season 2, which that is still just as corny as I remembered. That's one of those shows that like I'm watching it and I know it was based off a video game and you can see the video game play in the anime.
Which one was that?
Princess Connect.
Princess Connect Redive? Yep.
You can tell that that's based off a video game by how the anime is going.
Of course. Speaking of which, who is best girl out of that one?
That's kind of tough to say for best girl on that one.
Here we go.
Especially due to the fact of like I'm not big on like the princess herself.
Uh-huh.
I got to pull up the characters.
You got Carol and Chorister. Or Coro. Coro's the white-haired, the one that makes all the expressions, and Carol's the cat.
I mean, I really, you know me, Darren. I do like my cat girls, and I think she is cute. I don't often go for like the little elf chick, but
Kaya Tianyu, sorry if I mispronounced that, said in the chat that they love the series, and Carol, if I'm reading that correctly, is best girl.
Carol, I really like her because I love my cat girls, but I almost think the white hair girl is the best girl. Just because of how simple she is.
I'll say this. The main male is very annoying to me. Energetic nonetheless, but until he regains more of his memories and starts talking and actually functioning like a human, I don't think I'm gonna be a fan of him. Because the more he remembers, the more he starts acting like a normal human.
And for those of you who are wondering of the characters, here is a picture of the 3 girls in question. And like I said, the cat girl is Carol, who Kaya really has said is best girl. And I really like her because I love my cat girls. She's adorable. But the white-haired elf girl, I think is best girl because she actually adds an interesting spin to the show. Where Pecorine, as they call the blonde-haired character, she's just kind of annoying.
You know what's kind of funny? This trio and the main male has often been compared to the Konosuba gang.
They have.
All right.
I can never tell how bad until I look at it.
And I don't know if you can see it, but they're about to set off the smoke alarm. My living Boston proper tiny house kitchen is right off of the room I'm in, and they're cooking and I can smell smoke. However, they have opened the door, so it's dissipating.
That's good. That's what would happen if I tried to cook. There would be smoke.
There's smoke all the time when I cook. The problem is, well, the good thing for me is I always have a ventilation system right above my head.
Fair.
But it doesn't help when I'm constantly cooking in bad grease. That is not my fault.
Nope. Been there, done that. But we digress.
Yeah, I was surprised. I used a little the other day, and I was like,
So when you're looking at new shows, like we've sat through a week or two ago and did a special about the 2020 winter animes. What is some of the things that you look for when you're looking at a new show, not something that you're continuing from a previous season or a season 2, when you don't know really anything about the shows? What are some of the things you look for that jump out at you?
Me, I look at the plot synopsis to start. The post, like the art ad, like if you go to my anime list and as we displayed last time, the poster art, if you will.
Yeah.
But for me, it's mostly and then after that, I look at what's listed as the primary genre. There are some genres that I just don't like and will avoid.
Like isekai. Not my cup of tea.
We're going to get an isekai one day for you to watch, and it is going to change your perspective on isekai. I guarantee it. One exists.
That may very well be. I apparently picked a really bad one.
Which was?
We've been over that, and we're not gonna derail that again. But no, like I'm also like one of my favorites from a few seasons ago was Moriarty the Patriot, which is a very interesting retelling of Sherlock Holmes, but flipped on its head, because it is effectively aspects of Sherlock Holmes told from Moriarty's point of view. It was very, very, very well done.
Mario wants you to get on slime. That time I was
It's also,
reincarnated
can we just inject it into her veins? And there's also a comment about how you have Katori on screen.
Yeah, we have Kotori on screen today, and this is my wife's favorite character from the Love Live franchise. And I was like, let's just grab a character at random. Oh, we'll bring Kotori.
But no, for me, like every other media, I'm a sucker for the writing. I love a good story.
And there's a lot of shows out there that have good story. Like, I haven't watched the most recent season of Slime. We watched part 1 of season 2, but have not actually watched part 2 of season 2. Season 1, I was kind of on the fence about. Did I enjoy it? Did I not enjoy it? But when you're watching it one episode at a time, every week, along with so many other shows, I kind of lost track of everything that was going on. When I went back and rewatched the whole first season in bigger chunks, I grew a new appreciation for the character building, the world building, and just how well put together the show was, that you don't really get that feeling of when you watch it Monday. You watch 7 to 10 other shows throughout the week, and then the next Monday you've got to remember, oh, where did I leave off on this? When you watch it in a bigger chunk, it's like, this was actually really well thought out. I enjoyed the storyline. I enjoyed the character building. And I don't care what anybody says, Malim is best character, best girl, and waifu.
And it also gets into, we also do that differently, where we'll just pick a night of the week and literally watch all of the anime on a specific night, regardless of when it goes live. And so depending, we will end up being a week behind, depending on what day everything goes live, we'll end up being a week behind on. some, and that's okay.
And Mario's yelling at me again. Get on season 2, part 2.
And HH,
Yeah.
I actually agree with HH there. And anything that tends to be too formulaic, I can't. It gets to a certain point where it's just like, yeah, I'm bored. I'm done.
Which is why we're going to stop.
To that note, that's where you gotta. Sorry, HH, but yes, that is the typical trope with isekai. But you actually have to try and go out of your way to find those ones where that is not the case. There are several where they are like super weak and eventually become strong, or they just stay weak. There are a couple out there like that, just not very many.
And one of those, like, I laughed earlier today because I saw a meme on Facebook where it was like a cartoon of an anime studio. All right, we need the next big isekai idea. How are we going to transport the main character to another world? And one's like, get hit by a truck. One is summoned. One guy pipes up and says, whatever happened to the good, just normal fantasy animes? Why does it have to be an isekai? Which then shows the manager getting mad and throwing the guy out the window, and a title underneath says, my boss threw me out the window and I ended up in another world as a portal opened up under the window.
That's basically how it goes. And very good take on that very common meme. They have used that meme for God knows what.
Yeah. And Mario's asking, have we finished So I'm a Spider, So What? I've seen one episode.
Yes, Mario. Yes. The Kumiko is, oh my god.
And HH says, yes, Truck-kun, which I had to laugh because I work as a mechanic at a dealership. And one of our parts truck that comes by is an Isuzu box truck. And anybody who knows what the Isuzu box trucks look like, that says Truck-kun all over it. So when I saw the particular tool guy show up and saw the truck, I started laughing, going, I wonder if he said that. I wonder if this truck is isekai to anybody recently. I just snickered to myself and walked away.
I have to say, those box trucks, the open kind, are generally used in a lot of landscape maintenance. So I see them quite often.
And I work in a mailroom, so I see box trucks every day.
Oh yeah. H8, and everybody now in the chat is laughing. It's the OG Isuzu truck.
Yes, because Truck-kun started really becoming a thing. Believe it or not in an isekai. Truck-kun really got its name from Fuka. Because in the show, she gets hit by a truck. And that's when Truck-kun really started making the rounds and getting its name before all the isekais really started with it.
Now, getting back to different things that will draw our attention to different animes. Like I said, a lot of times, if I will read the synopsis. If that doesn't lure me in, like Angela said, I would look at the cover art and see the art style. I look at the characters. Do they have a cute character design? Does it look like something I would enjoy? I usually don't pay attention to studios or things of that nature, although recently I probably should consider the fact that Cloverworks is one that I have really started to enjoy a lot of stuff from them.
Half our list for this season is, if not more, is Cloverworks, and I typically, outside of some of the obvious ones, I never really bothered to pay attention to studios. until we did our preview list where I was just reading them off because it was there.
And then you realize, crap, I'm watching this and this and this and this, and it's all from the same studio.
Yep. And it's some studios like we're finishing up Platinum End, and that's done by the same people that did Death Note. And the other big one that they did was an older one called Bakuman. But this one is shaping up to be not necessarily as good. I mean, I'm enjoying it, but the main character is a little annoying.
I have to say, if you want a better version of Platinum End, go watch The Future Diary.
But for Platinum End, it was very much the concept, the synopsis that I want to watch this.
Well, it's a carbon copy of Future Diary. Just saying.
Also, we want to take a moment to pick on Darren for missing his show last week. It's great. Unfortunately, he was sick, and he never reached out to us to let us know what was going on. But we're happy he's able to join us. I know, Darren, that you feel bad about missing the Pokemon and High School DxD themed show last week.
I was only aware of Pokemon, not when did my other favorite show come into?
It came in when we basically realized we covered everything the two of us know about Pokemon, and then tangents and things happened.
And I think we spent 5 or 10. Might have been close to 10 minutes on DxD.
Good God. Was Mario leaving any helpful comments at that point?
He was.
Mario and somebody else were just going back and forth. It was fantastic.
It was absolutely hysterical because you were getting picked on by the chat because Mario knows how big of a Pokemon and DxD fan you are, and he couldn't help himself but be like, oh, Darren's gonna be so mad when he realized he missed his show.
Yeah. Well, you will get another one of those at some point. But I apologize. I have no idea what happened last week, but I basically got hit by a truck. My headache did not stop for over 12 hours straight. It was one of the worst nights of my life.
And I was going to say, my wife had something similar to that last week or the week before, so she knows about what you felt like.
I get migraines quasi regularly. I feel your pain.
And I had to take a moment just to poke a little bit of fun at Darren because you did miss the show last week. I do have a guest announcement coming up next Sunday on January 30th. We are going to be welcoming back our good friend Rusty Gilligan's going to be coming on the show. We do have a couple other people we are talking to about coming on the show. We could see another cosplayer coming up in the next couple of weeks. Don't want to announce anything formally until we have things finalized, but we are still working hard on finding more awesome guests. I sent email out this week to about 6 potential guests, including a few voice actors. So fingers crossed that we hear back from them, especially one voice actress that I really, really want to get on the show for multiple reasons. Hoping to hear back from her. Her name is Abby Trott. And if you're not familiar with her name, you're probably really familiar with one of the roles that she does. And I'm pulling up her voice actor thing here because there was a few roles that she had done that I knew about. For USAO fans, she was in Sword Art Online Alicization as Lipa Zankal. She was in Fire Emblem, Hunter x Hunter, 7 Deadly Sins, Signs of a Holy War.
Fire Emblem got an anime?
No, I think she was in the video game.
Which one?
Let me find it here. Fire Emblem. Where did I just see that? Fire Emblem 3 Houses, 2019 video game.
Yep,
And that.
Okay.
So she voiced Annette. Now, there's a little popular TV show out or anime out right now that some of you may have heard of called Demon Slayer. She voices Nezuko in the English dub. I am trying to get her on the show, A, not because she voices Nezuko, but B, because she's from the same hometown I am.
Oh wow.
That's what really attracted me to get in touch with this talented voice actress. She is from the same city in Massachusetts that I was born in, and that's the city of Attleboro, Mass.
That's pretty cool.
Which, if we can do that, I might fanboy just for the sheer fact of I know where she's from because I spent 13 years in my life there. So hopefully we can hear back from her. If we can get her on, that will be amazing. Looks like Mario's excited if we can get her. Like I said, Nezuko fame by itself. She was supposed to be a guest at Anime Boston 2020 when the pandemic hit and Anime Boston was canceled. That's what kind of led me down the path of I need to find some new guests for the show. Oh look, I know where she's from. And there was another one.
2020.
And Darren, you saw Misfit of Demon King Academy, right?
Yes, I did.
She was also Eleanor Bianca in that.
Okay.
So I know a few of her roles. I have seen a little bit of Demon Slayer, so I have heard her growl as Nezuko.
About to say she ain't got much else to do.
I'm just going to interrupt and say that if Bo Fury season 2 comes out later this year, Maple is best girl.
Oh, that's going to be tough.
Because rumors, nothing confirmed, but Maple is best girl.
Waifu material ranking? No way. But best girl, in terms of sheer action, we'll find out how she does this season. Let's see if she can captivate me like she did during her debut.
Like I said, personally for me as of right now, and I apologize that I can never remember the blonde girl's name from Dress Up Darling. Is it Myray or something like that? I'm not sure how they pronounce it. But she right now is best girl of winter 2022.
Everyone calls her Kitagawa. And her name is Mari.
Well, no. My criteria for best girl is slightly different. I could make an argument in favor of Mikasa just because she's badass, but...
You could, but I don't watch AOT, so
Precisely.
I can't have nothing to go off of.
Exactly.
Precisely. So it's one of those. My criteria for best girl is going to be very different from you guys.
Yes.
Oh, crap. About to say, Doug, you got Date Alive Season 4 coming out next season, too.
It'll be interesting to see what spirits get added in Season 4. I don't care what you say, Natsumi is still best girl in Date Alive, in my opinion, which I know you like Nightmare. But Mari is still beats them hands down in my mind.
I agree.
I don't think I put any of the Date Alive characters any higher than A tier on a waifu list.
Oh wow. Raftalia is coming back next season too. Ooh, and Kaguya. And Chica.
Wow. Speaking of data, says Mario, Speaking of Data Live, you'll see the new best girl. She's right under your nose.
I already know who it is, Mario.
Well, right now, if you're saying best girl is right under my nose, that's Angela, because on the screen, her video is under me, so, and under Darren, so.
Uh-huh.
So
Well, as far as the show is concerned,
as far as the show's concerned, you may be best girl on the air because you're the only girl on the air.
exactly.
About to say, but sometimes it takes best boy to be best girl. Doug.
No, I was gonna say Darren with his Nikos.
Good.
We're getting derailed.
You're still never going to hear that.
We really, I need to take time and just dig through the archives on the laptop to see if that got recorded and if we can find that.
Dare I ask?
We did a AZR after hours one time.
Oh, God.
Or we tried to do a few pre-recorded on Skype that we were going to upload to YouTube before we made the switch full-time to YouTube. And during one of the shows, Darren didn't realize his microphone was as powerful as it is and had moved away from the mic. And in Nico's voice from Love Live, did the Nico niche spiel in the high-pitched Nico voice, not thinking his microphone would catch it, which it did. And we heard it. And now we need to find it, and I can put it in the system. And I learned that there's a way of downloading videos and video clips into the system that I can share during the shows.
Oh, dear God.
So if I can find it, I will play it for everybody's listening pleasure. Which I had to laugh because a couple of weeks ago when we had cosplayer Lainey Maloney joining us, and I had to step out and get my wife from work because she wasn't feeling good, Darren told her the story willingly about that, which I was surprised because I was listening in. I couldn't believe that you just came out with that story. That was kind of funny.
I was trying to keep conversation at that point.
But Darren did a really good job, in all honesty, of keeping things going while I stepped away. He doesn't usually. I usually don't have to leave the show or give him full reign of the show a lot. So he's not used to being the main focal point.
Yeah, I mean, all I have to do is run the show into the ground, and then Doug will fire me.
I don't think you want that, though. I think you enjoy being part of the show.
I think I do, except for passing out every week.
Well, with how much you work, that's understandable.
Yep.
And Kaya in the chat room is laughing about Mario's Nico knees.
Oh, God. Okay, that's what's going on.
Got videos in the background.
It's a Let's Play.
Ah. And hi, AJ. And
welcome to technology.
Oh yeah. So now a lot of really good shows are out this season. A lot of good continuations. I have been keeping up with, like, on Funimation alone. I realize that there are 3 or 4 shows that I'm watching, including, like I said, She Professed Herself Pupil of the Wise Man. Started watching that just on a whim because some of the character designs were cute. Another isekai, MMO isekai. I was like, this could be interesting. I think I'm at the point now with isekais where, in a way, I'm bored of isekai and would like to just see a good quality fantasy anime without an isekai aspect to it. But at the same time, I want to just watch it, watch an isekai mindlessly and be like, what's going to happen in this? How are they going to try to change the typical isekai trope you've seen 1,000 times before?
To that note, I say watch, what's it called? The Strongest Sage with the Weakest Crest. Because you got a concept that you see every once in a while, but it kind of took on a Misfit of Demon King Academy kind of thing, where your main character decides to basically give himself up in his current life and then reincarnate many, many, many years down the road.
That actually is on my list of shows to watch that I haven't started yet.
Well, do it because in episode 3 we get a new dragon girl for your pleasure.
Another show.
And also, I think we mentioned this before, but Ari Fuerta. You need to watch that one too, strictly for, yet again, Dragon Girl and Bunny Girl.
And what did you say Ange was had to be from that show? You said it was Bunny Girl, Dragon Girl, and who else?
The other one was Vampire or the Priestess.
I could see Ange more of the Vampire Girl and the Priestess.
Yue is
the vampire.
yeah. Dea is the bunny, and I forget the dragon.
Another show that I'm watching that I continued from last season is How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom. The continuation, a couple of episodes feel like the storyline slowed down a little bit, but it still has been keeping my interest, especially where I've already watched like 15 episodes of it. The storyline is still really good. It's kind of gotten to they had a big battle scene or a lot of fighting. Now it's getting into some of the political jargon between nations for a couple episodes, and I have a feeling it's going to pick back up and be crazy again. Some of the characters in there are absolutely adorable. Again, I think I started watching this series because they had like a little like white-haired wolf-looking girl that was on the cover art, and I was like, she looks kind of cute. This could be kind of a fun anime. Let's see what this is. That's another one where a character I took an interest in a specific character and wanted to see how she became part of the show. And one big factor that I didn't talk about that gets me to watch some shows is we talk to voice actors all the time on the show. I can't tell you how many shows that I probably would not watch if it weren't for the voice actor saying, hey, I know the shows you've watched. You need to check this out. It's right up your alley. Or somebody like Anthony Bowling basically yelling at me to watch a show he's directed because A, I like almost everything I've seen that he's directed. And B, he also knows my style of animes that I like, and literally just about everything I've seen him do, I have really, really enjoyed his directing style.
To that note, you mentioned how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom.
Yep.
I really think you're going to enjoy the Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt. Just for the fact you got a prince that basically just wants to get rid of the kingdom because it's too much of a headache. But he himself is a genius, and through various notions, everything goes the exact opposite of how he plans it, which actually turns out to be a good thing. He's basically like Ein. He's just walking through life, and everything's going his way, whether he intends it to or not.
And Mario in the chat, in the comments, speaking of Anthony, hope he comes back for Data Live.
Yep. Data Live has had 3 seasons. They're getting ready for season 4. All 3 seasons were directed by different directors. Anthony directed season 3, which in my opinion, was the best season of all. Not because Natsumi came in, but the way that the show progressed, the way the characters evolved, and the storyline got better. I really felt like season 3 was the best of the Date Alive so far. I'm hoping they keep the momentum up with season 4.
I'm just in awe that they can't keep a studio.
And Mari also said, "Yep, the movie is in limbo."
I still need to watch Data Bullet.
Nobody got time for that.
But Best Girl.
Is Natsumi in it?
I don't believe so.
Then Best Girl ain't in there.
That's your opinion, sir.
I know. I have to give you some flack. And it's just shaking her head.
I'm shaking my head at numerous things, including you two going on about Best Girl.
Well, we could go on about Best Boy, but there's literally only one boy worth mentioning in the series.
Well, I've never seen the series, so
Yeah.
Well, I just figured a change in gender might pique your interest.
well, I have my criteria for best boys as well. But
So, of the shows that you have seen thus far this season, who would you say is your best boy?
that's a toss-up.
Ooh, toss up.
Because I haven't really seen enough new stuff for characters to be fleshed out. Like at this point, I would argue it's one of the shows we started is Orient, which is your basic shonen anime. But the main character is shaping up to be best boy because he goes out of his way to be a bushi and carries a pickaxe that is larger than I am as a weapon. And for the stuff I'm watching, there's no real pretty boys yet.
And we know how you feel about pretty boys. Anybody who saw our Smash, Trash, or Cuddle special knows how she feels about the pretty boys.
The pretty boys lend themselves so well to fun times. And we're going to leave it at that.
I don't know. I don't know what language this lady is speaking, but whatever.
It's probably better that way, Darren.
Wait, what lady are we talking about?
Are you trying to instigate that Doug is a girl, or that he is miming through coterie?
Neither. Oh, God.
Mara says for the next time, I'm adding some to the list. For those who don't know, if you haven't had a chance, go back, look through our history here on Anime-Zing Radio on YouTube, and we've done 2 Smash or Trash specials where my wife has come up with. First time, I think it was like 51 characters. Took us 3 hours to get through all these characters on whether Darren, myself, our friend Jeremy, or our friend Julia would smash or trash. Which that in and of itself was interesting, especially since Julia was on with us for about an hour, and I think you know Julia Coelho and know how just outrageous and how unpredictable she can be.
Yep.
That was hysterical, especially when Kuro Sensei from Assassination Classroom came up. I'll just let your mind run wild knowing her and what may have come out of her mouth about that one.
Yep.
Then we did a second one. Oh, go ahead, Darren.
I was about to say, you have at least seen Assassination Classroom, right, Angela?
Nope.
Oh my god. Y'all are hopeless.
I've seen a lot of random things. And there's also like probably close to an entire decade of anime that I just kind of missed altogether.
Well, octopus looking main character of a teacher. One of the best shows of that year, if not that the last decade.
I'll add it to the.
So the yellow
I'll add it
dude
to the
on the
list.
screen is the Kuro Sensei, the teacher that he's referring to. So you've probably seen his character, but
I've seen memes, but I've heard it's really good.
I did start it, but that came at the time of moving 4 times in like 3 months. So a lot of those moves I didn't have internet connection, so I've stopped watching it and haven't gotten back to it.
Holy,
And Mario. Go ahead.
holy one-liner, and I thought my 4 moves in less than two full calendar years was bad.
We moved from Wareham, Mass to New Bedford, New Bedford to Plymouth, Plymouth to East Bridgewater in about 4 months.
But why?
Mom was selling the house in Wareham, so we had to find a place to live. Toxic roommate situation in New Bedford left us staying with a friend for a month until the apartment that we were going to get in New Bedford opened up because they were doing some renovations. Before that opened up, an apartment a 10-minute walk from my work opened up. So that's why we went to East Bridgewater instead.
Fair enough.
But it was a lot in a short amount of time. And, thank you to everybody who helped on that, because that was definitely some trying times, and the roommate situation was extremely toxic. But I won't get into that. That's stuff that don't need to go out there. We'll just say it was bad.
That is fair.
And in succession, we have Mario saying, "Oh my God, Angela, go watch Ass Class."
Other people have told me it's really good, so it'll get put on the perpetual list that I never seem to finish.
So, and maybe at some point, if Angela and I get to hang out, we can sit there and start watching it together. Who knows?
Great idea.
I wonder if would it be worth it to do we watch it and do a live reaction of the two of us watching it for the first episode.
Possibly. It could, like, we wouldn't be able to show the episode itself on the stream, but we could have the camera focused on us watching it. Because I think there would be some copyright issues and stuff like that.
Or we watch it at the same time, and then as soon as it's over, we do a discussion.
We could. I think that could be. I think that could be fun, because you never know. We have lots of ideas for the show that we're looking at going forward, and of course, if you guys out there want to have ideas that you'd like to see us do with the show, either games that we could play, if you want to have guest ideas.
Mario is 100% on board with us doing basically a post-watch of Assassination Classroom.
And we will constantly refer to it as Ass Class just for Mario, since he had to put Ass Class in all capital letters.
Of course, because that's what it's known as.
But it leads to the question, an octopus alien, does he really have an ass? Darren, do you want to take the lead on that?
The answer is maybe.
He did before his little transformation.
Oh God. Blame some great people from Foodie for coining that.
Well, it was kind of a common theme.
I think everybody called it that.
The anime community before Funimation. Funimation might have capitalized on it, but it was well within the community long before.
Before Funny had fun with it.
Exactly. Because Funimation likes to have fun with a lot of things.
At least they did before Sony took over, and now everything's, they took a lot of fun out of it. I hate to say it, but from what I've heard, like, they can't leave bombs for each other anymore, which was always fun to hear those stories, because too many times the bombs got left in when it went to production and didn't get caught by anybody. So it made it to the home videos.
Sentai Film Works.
And then, of course, they have and anybody who has seen, anybody who has seen the outtakes for Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid will get a kick out of this. But one thing I am so tempted to do when I'm dressed as Kobayashi for Anime Boston is go up to a Toru cosplayer and just use one of the lines from the outtakes.
Oh God.
And Mario says it's not Sony's fault about them taking stuff out of there, which I'm poking a little bit of fun at everything there. I know that Sony. I'm poking fun at Sony because I'm worried about them trying to monopolize the anime industry in the U.S., where they've already got Funimation and Crunchyroll. I'm hoping they stay away from Sentai and some of the other companies.
I have to say, they technically have a hand in Aniplex too, because that was your big four right there: Crunchyroll, Funimation, Sentai Filmworks, Aniplex of America. Those were your big four, even though Crunchyroll wasn't even really a dubbing or licensing company. They were just more of a streaming company until
that changed.
And then they were acquired.
And then you have Netflix putting out their own stuff. Bang Zoom, that's still doing some recording of stuff.
Hulu's got some as well. Not a whole hell of a lot, but I've seen at least a couple of anime shows on Hulu.
I have to say, they may have streaming rights, but they don't have license rights.
Entirely likely. I did not deep dive into this. This is just a scrolling through Hulu, trying to figure out what to watch.
There was a streaming site called Daisuki.net that had rights to stream a lot of stuff, but when it came to licensing rights, they did not have them. They belonged to either Aniplex or Sentai Filmworks or any of the other major companies. And like I said, Crunchyroll was one of the big streaming rights, but not licensors.
And now I think they have gone into getting some licensing due to the fact of all the Crunchyroll exclusives, similar to what Netflix has done too with getting some Netflix exclusive stuff.
There's also Crunchy has also done some original stuff.
Yep, and a lot of it has bombed hard.
I was gonna say one of my favorites from that season was The God of High School. Was a Crunchyroll original.
Mm-hmm. But it was based on a manhwa.
It was based on a Korean webcomic.
Yes, a manhwa.
I didn't know the actual term because I have not seen a lot of Korean media.
It's starting to make its way into the anime scene. A Tower of God is another one.
But that was a Crunchy original that I thoroughly enjoyed.
And random change of pace here. So I've seen a lot of random questions come up on Facebook, anime pages, and stuff like that. And this was one that kind of caught me off guard because you don't see a lot of people talk about this genre of anime. But somebody had posted, "Is there a sports anime that caught your attention?"
Yes.
I did put an answer on there. And does anybody know what my answer would have been? Considering the fact I have watched quite a few sports anime.
Yes, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Would you have a guess, Ange?
I would have a guess, but I'm not sure if I'm not sure if the one I'm thinking is technically a sports anime or not.
What's the one that you are thinking?
Konosuba?
No, Konosuba is not. Konosuba is not a sports anime.
It starts with a K, though.
It does start with a K. It's called Keijo.
And Mario had one in there.
That also began with a K. Kuroko Basketball.
Now, for me, one of the actually, I've watched a few sports animes. One of the first sports animes I watched was actually Yuri on Ice.
I'm not much of a sports anime person like at all. I'm actually trying to remember if I've even seen one.
Yuri on Ice was the first one, and then a couple seasons back we watched two of them. Sport Climb Girl, and I believe I forget what it was actually. Gymnastic Samurai. Those two came out the same season.
Now, Yuri on Ice I saw, partially because I enjoy watching figure skating. Winter Olympics, I would watch the figure skating because I find it entertaining. It's amazing what they can do on skates. And I'd heard so much about the animation being so fluid, so smooth for the skating that I had to watch and, compared to what I had seen growing up with watching figure skating at an Olympic level, I wanted to see how it compared.
Same. Growing up, I watched a lot of figure skating and a lot of gymnastics. With Yuri on Ice, we had been watching an anime podcast at the time that is now defunct from Rooster Teeth, and they were doing a anime club, if you will, where they would watch they watched two shows and then would discuss every week. One of them was Yuri on Ice, and so we decided let's do that and then stay caught up and with both shows. I ended up liking the other one better, but that's just because the other one spoke to me as a nerd. Yuri on Ice was the better quality show by far, and I enjoyed Yuri on Ice, but it was not my favorite or anything like that.
And I can vouch that Yuri on Ice, the animation and stuff, like the animation was breathtaking. They did a fantastic job at creating Yuri on Ice. I'm not a BL fan. The storyline of the BL aspect deterred me a little bit because, like I said, that's not my type of thing. But the competition and stuff was really good. The animation was phenomenal.
I will say I'm not normally into the boy love thing. They did it very well. From a purely objective standpoint, they did it well. And it was one of those shows that I will say lived up to the hype. And what are you laughing at?
Darren just sent me a meme.
Ah.
And oh my god, this is hysterical. I need to like put this to where I can bring this up, because especially knowing that and you watch a lot of the same YouTubers that I do, and here it is.
Oh god, I just found it.
So here it is, referring to cosplay, my dress up darling. They have the manga, the anime, and then the Netflix adaptation is Sid Snap and Giggik.
Yup.
Oh my god, that is great. I don't know how you found that, Darren, but that is amazing. And it is so fitting.
Very much is.
Especially considering the fact I see Giggik on the TV behind you.
That is entirely likely. I don't know. What the hell? Oh, it's a game. It's a
game that Connor C.VA is doing. I see the Anime Man. I see
Aki Sid,
Giggik.
Kid some rando. And I'm now.
I don't know if Darren happened to remember that and posted it because of what's going on behind you, but that is absolutely hysterical.
That is, and now I'm just more along the lines of what the hell. I'm more annoyed that this is that I'm not watching this. Granted, if I was watching it, I'd probably only be paying half attention, which is probably why he put it on without me.
But remember, we have stuff we can. That just means we got stuff that we can watch at the same time in separate locations.
Yep.
And because we all like our YouTubers with that's one thing that I found was funny when Angela and I were talking about different YouTubes and things like that. She's like, "Oh, well, have you watched this one?" I'm like, "Yeah." Do you like Abroad in Japan? Oh, love Chris Broad. He's hysterical. Do you like this? Yep. Darren introduced me to Giggik, which led me to the Anime Man, which led me to Aki.
And we found them all, and we found all of the same YouTubers, just very differently. Because I believe it was I Came Home and Chris Broad was on the TV. I could be mistaken. Because Chris was the one I got to see first.
And we could go off on a whole tangent on YouTubers that we watch, but I think we're going to save that for another show.
I love... It's interesting to see how media has evolved.
Yes.
Like just access to content from other parts of the world, ease of which you could get literally any and everything. And literally at this point, if you want to find specific content based on keywords, you can literally do a search and find something.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing how far things have come with technology and stuff. The fact that we can sit here in 3 different states and put on a program talking about something that we enjoy.
That's huge.
Is amazing to me, especially where I don't understand half of this. I learn as I go. I'm still learning stuff about StreamYard that we broadcast through, still learning stuff about YouTube, and we are working hard behind the scenes. I can say this honestly, that in the month of January, I have done more work for show prep and things to grow this show than I probably have in the last year and a half. Granted, a lot of that was due to COVID and not being able to get out and losing interest and depression and whatnot. But I guarantee you that I have a new focus and a new drive to really get this show to be a lot better than it has been and to grow this show so we can keep bringing in more amazing guests. We want to keep, having you guys, our fans, coming in every week.
Because we love you guys.
We do.
And I'm going to take some level of credit because I don't remember how it started, but I remember talking to you about it, and I think it got so far as me just threatening to kick your ass if you let it go, because this is something awesome and people are interacting with us.
And I love the interaction. I'll tell you right, Mario and HH and everybody in the chat room. I love when you guys interact. I love the chat and everything. Hello, good Brag Pro. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really, we love the fact you guys come in and interact with us. If you're new to the show, if you're new to Anime-Zing Radio, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. We want to hit 500 subscribers by the end of 2022. When we hit the 200 subscriber mark, we are going to do a giveaway where one lucky subscriber will get a chance to sit in a guest co-host seat for a future voice actor interview. The faster we can hit that mark, the faster we can get somebody in. And who knows? We've had so many amazing guests that have joined us in the past. You could have the chance of talking with anybody from Danny Chambers, Anthony Bowling, Megan Shipman.
Don't look at that yet.
Oh, don't look at that yet?
God.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
And
I can't.
I was getting multiple messages, so that's why I was getting sidetracked.
Let's be honest, I can't wait. I would love to be able to actually talk to the voice actress for Maple about how awesome Maple is.
I will have to reach out to Megan and see if we can get her back on the show.
Because I took the concept of Maple and built Maple as a D&D, as a Dungeons and Dragons character. And this was an online campaign, so I actually found an image and used that as my character's avatar. Only one person got the joke, but the person that got the joke knew exactly what I had done. And it was hilarious.
That's awesome. And I know that, and it happened by chance 2020. When we brought Megan on the show in October, it just so happened that the week prior to her coming on the show, they aired the last episode dubbed because it took a long time when COVID hit for them to stop dubbing to when they continued remotely dubbing shows and putting things out there, and Yuri was one they finished. And just by chance, she came on right after the show had finished, and we were able to talk with her about, the process of the pandemic, putting the dubbing on hold for both Yuri and Maple, and seeing what she had gone through and how different it was to do that from home as opposed to.
And good Brag Pro, small world. Rusty have lots of friends on Facebook. That's how they found this YouTube channel.
Awesome. And big hearts out to Rusty Gilligan. He is going to be our guest right here next week on Anime-Zing Radio. Rusty Gilligan is a fantastic man. I don't think you've had a chance to meet him yet, Angela.
I have not. I look forward to it.
He is the man who married my wife and I. And he is larger than life in so many aspects. Just one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Unfortunately, health issues are going to keep him and prevent him from attending conventions for the foreseeable future. But we do send lots of love out to him, and hopefully at some point we'll be able to get out to his neck of the woods and hang out with him in person, because we miss Rusty. Having him on the show.
To answer HH's question, how did the character work out? Quite well for several hours of a battle royale one-shot. It ended. My one flaw was because I went with a paladin build. Basically, all the hit points, all the strength in the world, but no reflexes whatsoever. I felt that was appropriate, and subsequently, make a reflex save was my death.
And Mario says it is time to summon Megan again. The last time Megan joined us, I believe, was our Mashu Myresh special, the week before we switched over to YouTube full time. So that would have been last July. So yeah, we should reach out to Megan and see if she wants to come on.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
And now, talking about the world of voice acting and whatnot, are there, aside from Megan at being the voice of Maple, are there other voice actors that you would love the chance to talk to?
I don't know. I'll admit, I've watched very little subtitle. And another voice actor I got to meet by accident at a convention was Matt Mercer. At the time, I didn't know who he was. Someone informed me of it, and I then was like, "Oh shit!" And then subsequently, that picture is on my Facebook feed, and he also does one of the voices for Overwatch. So I'm playing Overwatch, and someone I'm on a team with finds me on Facebook, finds that picture, and just fangirls. And it was kind of hilarious.
And good brag pros is I am a comic artist, retired actually, but still have connection with my past coworkers and rusty friends with them. I have another YouTube. Hope I can interview both of you. That would be wonderful to come and hang out with you on your show.
Definitely.
And especially if you are a comic artist as well, because we love bringing artists, the comic creators and stuff. Let me know the best way to get a hold of you if you want to send me a private message. And I would love to have you as a guest on the show to talk about the work you've done.
Oh, come on, Discord. Stop giving me notifications for crap.
I'm not really exposed into the world of voice actors, but I'll try to be active. I'll go to this Comic-Con in LA soon. I'll have a booth there. That's cool.
That is awesome.
Let us know some of the work that you've done. Feel free to post a link in the chat room. I will post that up on our social media page as well so that we can get you some exposure out there. I love to promote people. That's one of the reasons that I really enjoy doing the show. Also, as a bonus note here, right below my picture, you see a Patreon. We do have a Patreon page. We're looking at raising funds to help further support the show. We also want to be able to upgrade equipment, be able to make it to more conventions where we can meet you guys, our fans, do more show promotions, and meet more potential guests for the show, whether it be cosplayers, artists, comic creators, voice actors, you name it. We love going out to the conventions and finding more amazingly talented people to bring on the show here. So definitely, if you want to help support Anime-Zing Radio, go to our Patreon, donate however much you feel comfortable donating. A big thank you to those who have donated already. It means a lot to us to have the support. We know you guys, coming in, sharing our feed, and get the word out there about our show. We really do enjoy talking anime and pop culture. We're going to be talking about a wide variety of topics on the show. I know tonight has been a anime-focused show, but it's not uncommon for us, especially bringing Angela on, who is big into the RPGs, D&D campaigns, things of that nature, which Darren and I really don't know a whole lot about. It's going to add a whole new concept to the whole new concept to the show.
Nope, I suppose really I'm a nerd is really what this boils down to. And I do a lot of, as far as video games go, I do a lot of Japanese RPGs. Hence, I've actually played, it was mentioned earlier, I've actually played some of the Fire Emblem games. I didn't finish Three Houses. What do you guys think about this Spider-Man and Matrix? I have not seen either yet. The Matrix we just haven't gotten around to. And Spider-Man, just not really my thing.
I've never been a Marvel, like I'm not a huge comic person per se. When it comes to The Matrix, I loved the first movie. The second movie was okay. Third movie was interesting. It felt like it had a good conclusion to the series. I don't know if I want to watch the most recent one.
I am curious. It's just one of those, again, the perpetual watch list that we have that we never seem to finish. But that is my that's on my list. I'm curious. I did not like 2. I did not like 3.
What about you, Darren? He's asleep.
Did we lose Darren again?
I think we did. Which if he lasted till like 9:15, 9:30, that's like a new record for him lately. So.
Aw. But no, as far as the comic stuff, I will freely admit I didn't really actually start getting exposed to comics until I met my husband. He's the comic book nerd in the household. I went to see Iron Man 1 largely because it was there. And I figured, well, 1, Robert Downey Jr. is gorgeous. And 2, it's an action movie, therefore there's going to be awesome special effects. I was not disappointed. And then of course, it was good enough where I have gone with different groups of friends to see most of them in theaters. Spider-Man Spider-Man as a character didn't interest me. After the Tobey Maguire movies, I was just like, nope, I'm done with this. And we've got chat going off.
And I was on TikTok, saw the voice actor for Naruto. That was cool. And the voice of Goku. Who was the voice of Goku?
I don't know. Naruto is one that is another one.
Sean Schimmel.
Naruto and Dragon Ball are stuff I never got into.
Now the fun part about like Dragon Ball, I've never actually seen a single episode of Dragon Ball.
I have. Dragon Ball, not Z, not Super, not any other, just Dragon Ball. I saw it and I thought it was the dumbest thing I'd ever seen. I was in college and someone decided I needed to see this, and I was like, whatever. I did not enjoy it. But I also recognize I was not the target audience for it.
And
the voice actor for Goku will be at a con soon in Glendale in LA. That is awesome.
And Goku was voiced by Sean Schimmel. We actually have had the voice of Vegeta as a guest on our show in the past. And I would love to get Christopher Sabat back on the show. It was a lot of fun talking with him. Looking through other characters from the show, of course, a lot of people know we've had Monica Rial, who was the voice of Bulma, has been a guest on the show in the past. I am currently working in talks with Cynthia Krantz about coming on. She voiced Chi-Chi in some of the Dragon Ball. She has a lot of fun stuff. I've had the honor of meeting but not having on the show people like Laura Bailey, Christopher Bevins, who if you talk to J. Michael Tatum, he will tell you that Christopher Bevins is a persuasive bastard. There's a whole story. You can go back once we get some of our past shows edited and up on the channel here, one of our J. Michael Tatum interviews, you will find out why he says Christopher Bevins is a persuasive bastard. We've also had the honor of meeting Kyle Hebert at AAC one year. Kara Edwards I've met a few times. She's a very sweet lady. Would love to get her on the show as well. So lot of connections that we've made over the past, people we need to reach out to and try to get back on the show. Like I said, if you fans out there listening in, you have ideas of people you would like to see us bring on the show, whether it be some of your favorite cosplayers, voice actors, comic creators, artists, gamers, just let us know either down in the comments or shoot us a message over on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Anime-Zing Radio. We love hearing from you guys out there. It really means the world when you guys communicate with us.
It is dinner time on the West Coast, so take care, Good Brag Pro. Enjoy dinner.
Enjoy dinner. I had my dinner earlier.
Well, my dinner was at the beginning of the show.
And now I'm just finishing up my drinks of cream soda. No alcohol this week.
Alcohol on a school night is bad.
And Mario says, Chris Bevins is so busy, but he's godly. Funny story about why I agree with J. Michael Tatum about how persuasive Christopher Bevins is. There's a show out there. Oh God, what's the name of it? Crap. I forget the name of it now. I can picture it like the character had like white hair. Carnival, that was it. So there's a show called Carnival that he has been a part of. I got to meet him at a small Boston area convention called Northeast Comic-Con one year, where the two of the guests were Christopher Bevins and Rachel Robinson, both from anime. And I went because I wanted to meet them. It was my first time ever at NECC, which up until we moved, I've made every NECC but one since that time.
And Mario's got ideas.
That could be dangerous because I know Mario's head. Although Mario did get fooled by a trap during our last Smash or Trash special.
And, well, worst case, I kick his ass.
And
or at least threaten to.
Christopher Bevins was funny because I was talking with him and he's like, oh, have you heard of this show Carnival? Talk about some of the animes and stuff that I've enjoyed and stuff he's been a part of. Well, he talked me into buying this show that I had never heard of or seen. And I don't think I finished it, to be honest. I think I watched 3/4 of it and then lost track of it. And Mario says, Carnival, the one with Jade Saxton. Which I would love to get. Speaking of Jade Saxton, she's another one I would love to get back on the show. She is a sweetheart. Loved meeting her at Kineticon a few years ago. I think she was supposed to be at Anime Boston back in 2020. They have not announced any guests for 2022 yet, which I'm hoping that the guest list is good because there are many people I would like to see. I am greedy from the voice actors we've had on the show that I would like to really have a chance to.
And I am looking forward to this.
And I am happy to say that it is official that we will be at Anime Boston. We bought our tickets this weekend. So Anime-Zing Radio will be represented. If we don't get a table, I am going to try for a table. I also put in for a panel idea to do a podcasting panel. So we will see what happens there. So fingers crossed, but you never know. And Mario says, I will get you soon. Which I don't know if he's directing that at me or you.
That could go either way. And
but first, Mario has to come to the States to get us.
Which country is Mario in? Because I do not remember, and I apologize.
I believe he's UK.
Well, I will be. Our European trip which was supposed to be in 2 weeks, has been postponed because let's be real, COVID. And we are going to wait until summertime and then look at rebooking in October.
Which hopefully everything by then calms down and you are able to.
Hopefully by then everything will be calmed down. We will be, if we actually get to go, we will be spending a week in London and a week in Paris. And when I get back, I will have stories. But if Mario can get to either of those cities, perhaps we can meet up for coffee or whatever.
And that would be a lot of fun to hear those stories if you are able to meet up. We also have another friend of ours who lives out in the UK who's been a guest on the show in the past, Sophia Copen, who is a anime fan. She's part of the Monica Real's Facebook fan page, which is how we met her. And I love bringing on international guests to find out what the anime world is like outside of the US. Having never traveled outside of the continental US, I don't know. So I like to learn this stuff.
I will have to bug. Funny you mentioned Carnival. That was my third show I ever bought on a whim.
Like I said, I would not have bought it if it weren't for Christopher Bevins telling me to buy it. Or persuading me to buy it, I should say. He didn't tell me I had to, but... Something's catching your attention.
No, I am a sports fan. I have been 3 out of the 4 playoff games thus far have been upsets for the NFL, and it is looking like the 4th one is going to be as well. But it's 8 seconds to go.
So the Bills are about to upset the Chiefs?
Yep.
Is it bad? I kind of want the Bills to win it all, just because I think that would be good for the NFL.
Same. That being said, it would be just as good to see the Bengals win.
True.
The Bengals already won their game. And the Bucks lost earlier today.
Nice.
So I'm at the point of what the hell, it's all upsets.
So right now, getting ready for the NFC Championship game, it's San Francisco and LA.
Which I don't necessarily care who wins that game. And I'm as much as I have a soft spot for the Bills because my family's from there. If the Bengals win, I'm not going to be overly disappointed. Because they haven't been relevant in 30 years.
True. And we got off on a little side tangent there, but my God, and I laugh about the Bills because a lot of people know last weekend I had gone to a casino in upstate New York, thanks to courtesy of my job and the fact that we broke all sorts of records for sales in all departments in a year of COVID. And so they treated us to a hotel room overnight, dinner, breakfast, and giveaway of some money, which we then turned the chance box I picked up was $300. We turned that into $2,100 after taxes that we brought home. And thanks to a machine called Wild Buffalo. The whole night we talked about buffaloes, whether it be the fact that I mistook a Highland cow for a buffalo, the fact that the Buffalo Bills were beating the crap out of the Patriots. Would a buffalo fit in the back of my shop foreman's F-350 diesel? And other random stuff. And Mario in the chat, speaking of Sophia, says if the Bills won, Sophia would be happy. I don't think Sophia would.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, did they tie it?
Yes, they did.
Of course. You can't count out Kansas City. You can't count out KC.
Nope. And I will wake up to find out what happened in overtime because as soon as we're done here, it is bedtime for this girl.
You almost said lady, and then you caught yourself. I heard that.
I thought about it. I thought about it, but let's be real. I'm not necessary. I may be a female, but I am not necessarily a lady.
But she did play one on TV.
I do that from time to time.
And but looking ahead, like I said, next week we have Rusty Gilligan is going to be coming on the show. It's going to be a lot of fun reconnecting with him. This will be the first time that Rusty has joined us officially on StreamYard since we made our switch over to YouTube full time. He did join us back when we were simulcasting on Blog Talk Radio and YouTube, but this will be the first time that he has been a part of the show since we made the switch. So it'll be a lot of fun reconnecting him. Awesome guy. He has been a guest on the show many times in the past. And you will love him. He is such a character.
Like I said, I look forward to it.
Coming up after that, we have a cosplayer we are in talks with who may potentially come on February 6th. Nothing is confirmed as of yet, so we're not going to say who. But we do have that in the works. Also, like I mentioned before, I have a lot of emails out to a lot of potential up-and-coming guests. Hopefully we get to hear back from some people. I know things are busy. Holidays have ended. People are getting back into their daily lives. Also, I want to take a moment to put a big congratulations out to Skylar Mckinley, who is a very, very talented voice actress in her own right. She's been a guest on the show in the past. Her and her husband just had a baby this past weekend. So congratulations to them.
Congrats.
I noticed in the last year, a lot of voice actors are having children, including Kylie Stewart, whose son I think will be turning 1 soon, if it hasn't happened already. Brianna Roberts, I believe, is expecting. And, of course, Skylar McKinley just had her baby over the weekend. So congratulations to them. And lots of good stuff. Keep an eye on our Facebook page. I will update the schedule as we gain more guests. We also plan on trying to post more content on there. Be interactive. Post some stuff. Get questions out to us. Let us know what you want to see on the show. Let us know ideas that you have for the show. A future show we are planning on doing is going to be a Q&A where you, our fans, can come in and ask us questions about our anime tastes, things about the show. We want to try to keep it somewhat tasteful with the questions. This isn't exactly going to be a J. Michael Tatum 18+ panel, but we want to keep it fun and entertaining. And it may be like a short half-hour, maybe hour special that we're going to do during the weekend coming up. So keep an eye on our Facebook page for that as well.
And Mario says, Angela with a top hat, done. I don't own a top hat. That would be awesome, though.
Next thing you know, you meet Mario and he's got one for you. I don't put it past him.
That would be hilarious.
I would need to see pictures, that's for sure.
That would happen. Although I know for a fact if this happens, my husband would have a lot of questions. And then would just shake his head at me and go, yeah.
Especially if you tell him it was show related.
I know a lot of I actually have a lot of friends in Europe from my competitive gaming days. And at one point, a dude from Wales left a blue glittery cowboy hat in my living room. And we realized this. And that hat got basically passed around the entire American group and eventually made its way back to Europe. And it was just this funny thing, all because he couldn't. Tasteful ? But we are all, after all, people of immense culture. Says HH.
And people of culture.
And Mario says that would be hilarious.
So, like I said, keep an eye on our Facebook page. We will be figure out exactly when we want to do this Q&A. We want to make sure Darren will be awake for that. Also, a special note, we are looking at a possible a possible AZR special where Angela gets to introduce me and my wife to the world of D&D. And we're looking at doing a character. What did you say was a character development?
Character creation.
Character creation. Because my wife and I have had interest in learning about the role-playing games for a while, but never really taking the time to delve deep into it. We've had guests on in the past, including Douglas Shute with Victory Condition Gaming, who has been on and talked about that world. But I really have no clue what I'm doing, so it's going to be a lot of fun. If you want to see me make a complete and total butt of myself, trying to figure out how to do this, you definitely don't want to miss this. Like I said, keep an eye on Facebook. We will let you know for sure if and when that happens. We are tentatively looking at Tuesday night for doing that. Not sure exactly the time just yet, but I think it would be a lot of fun.
I love games of all kind, and that's honestly probably part of how I get into anime.
Now, knowing that you like board games and games of all type, have you heard of or seen the anime After School Dice Club?
No.
This is one I think you would enjoy, even though it's not your typical style of anime. They do delve deep into the world of tabletop gaming.
Okay.
Including to the point of one of the characters is trying to design. She works at a tabletop gaming store and is trying to design and create her own tabletop game.
Ooh. I'm actually sold on that. I've been helping one of my friends actually built a role-playing game system from the ground up, and I have helped playtest multiple versions of it. And we actually had to cut because of life, the universe, everything, COVID, and people, and what people do for work. We had to cut our last playtest campaign short.
Baby. I'm here.
Mm.
I'm here. Hey.
Oh boy, Darren is some level of alive. Maybe.
But I got tossed off by that.
But yeah, no. That one actually sounds really good.
It really was, and it falls right into the types of animes of like New Game, which you've heard me talk about before, where they follow Alba Suzakaze, a girl that comes out of high school, gets a job as a character creator for a video game company. And you get to follow her as she starts a job for the first time in her life at a video game company that she has idolized, working under her favorite character creator ever. And that was a really, really good series.
I do enjoy a well done slice of life.
And people who know the show, like I said, I'm not a fan when you see the fact I have not one, but 2 art books from the series. I have season 1 sitting on my shelf, and even though it's hard to see the Nendroids on the shelf back there, I do have an Alba and a Hifumi Nendroid, both characters from New Game, and I will talk this show up. I like this show almost as much as I like Show by Rock. And I will recommend that anime to anybody who likes video games. Because the story was written by someone who used to work for a video game company. And season 1, they are making a game that I would compare it to a franchise like a Final Fantasy style game.
Ooh. I've played me a lot of Final Fantasy. I've also put way too many hours into Tales of Arise. The Tales franchise is just fantastic for those who like the JRPGs.
I don't think I've ever played any of those. I have played some
Um,
Final Fantasy, and I played YS.
Final Fantasy 15 actually had a OVA, if you will, that came with it if you got the collectible edition. Or one of the deluxe editions, I forget which one. It's called Kingsglaive, and it's basically the beginning of the story.
Oh, that's cool. And for those of you Pokemon fans out there who are wondering, I did actually go out and pre-order the new Pokemon game that drops this Thursday, Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I ordered 2 copies. And apparently they're doing a midnight release, which I've never done before. So wish me luck figuring out. Apparently the store opens up at midnight on the 27th into the 28th. I will be getting up to go to GameStop to pick up 2 copies of this so that my wife can play it Friday before she goes to work, and I can play it Friday night after bringing her to work. That's the new game that came out, I think we were touched on last week, where it is an open world Pokemon game.
Interesting.
So I'm not sure what to expect from this. And I know Darren is alive, but I think he's preoccupied or fell back asleep. So he can't really touch base, but we will pique his interest next week when we say Pokemon.
Yep.
And we can tell him that Zenobia is worst girl in DxD.
That got a reaction. I love it.
The fact that got a reaction is worth it. He
Yep.
knows I don't really feel that way, but just to get the reaction.
Again, good taste in JRPGs. Darren, get on that.
And
Kingsglaive, don't forget.
so we are definitely going to have a busy weekend coming up next weekend. We're looking forward to welcoming Rusty Gilligan back on the show. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of fun reconnecting with him. Man of many talents, everything from comics to voice acting to he has appeared in TV, has worked on movies. He was a professional wrestler. So he has done all sorts of things. So you never know what we're going to talk about when he comes on the show. Who knows what character I'm going to bring out. But we are just about out of time.
Damn it. The Bills lost in overtime.
Ah, of course.
They sigh.
But
Now we'll have to jump on the Bengals bandwagon.
yep, gotta go Bengals all the way now. Which I used to have a Cincinnati Bengals hat, actually. I don't know if I still do, but I used to have one.
That is too funny.
So, once again, until next week, we thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Big thank you to Darren for joining us as much as he did. Thank you to Angela for coming on and joining us tonight. Of course, it's so much fun to have multiple co-hosts, especially in the case of tonight where knowing Darren's work schedule, if he passes out, I'm not talking to myself. And of course, thank you so much to all of you out there in the chat room. Really, lots of love go out to you guys for tuning in and being a part of the show. We love the support that you guys have given us. Like I said, if you want to help us out financially, I know money has been tight, especially with COVID, people trying to figure out jobs, things of that nature. But if you do find it in your heart to help us out, go to our Patreon, which you see the link right below, right down there at patreon.com/Anime-Zing Radio. Donate as much or as little as you feel like you want to donate, and it really means a lot. It'll help us out.
And if you cannot donate monetarily, we understand. Just like and subscribe and tell your friends, and that will also help us out a lot.
Oh, definitely. And like I said, once we hit the 200 subscriber mark, we will be doing a giveaway where one lucky subscriber gets to sit in the co-host seat for a future voice actor interview. Granted, we can't say exactly who it is because we don't know. We don't have voice actors lined up yet. But the faster that you help us reach that mark, the faster we can get something lined up. And we've had guests we've had many people in the past who have joined us who have interviewed voice actors like Danny Chambers, Megan Shipman, Bryn April, Carrie Karanen, Caitlin French. So a lot of good voice actors that we've had on in the past. So until next week, when we welcome Rusty Gilligan here on the show, thank you again for tuning in. Have a wonderful and safe week. Stay warm out there if you're in the colder climates. Be careful if you're in the snowy areas, and keep enjoying anime. This has been Anime-Zing Radio, right here on the Blog Talk Radio Network. Or